Hey, gang. What's up, everybody? I didn't run in like crazy. I say that every time I get up here. You've joined me at the bar at home. You've got the Wicked Lady Hippie at the bar. We are live. I love that part. It's a freaking bar, okay? Background, let's see. Army veteran, published author, mother, all that, yeah, all that stuff. Read the thing. I'm up here because this is the greatest social media thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's not like I haven't seen a lot of stuff. I'm not that young, but thank you. Make sure our live chat's up. I, you're gonna have to hit my bell and subscribe because when I first started this about 3 years ago, I was on like every day, and I was on at the right time and all that. But I run this show. What you see is what you get. I had a major incident and I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. So I had to take a whole year off. I didn't even get on Facebook. I still ain't on Facebook. I'm retired, and I thought I wouldn't be as busy being retired as I have become. So some other medical things have kind of quirked up. I had an examination yesterday, and they're running me through, I don't know, 15 doctors and 400 nurses, and I got a headache thinking about it. So I'm not. I'm going to be in and out. So if you do like this, I mean, hippies unite, for God's sakes. We need to remind them. I mean, my kids' generation, my grandkids' generation. My grandson is also an Army veteran. So this gives you an idea. The word hippie ought to give you a great idea. I mean, um, the baby boomer thing, yeah. I only missed, technically for me, I missed that like by 4 months. I mean, I had 4 months in, but I didn't count those. I just don't count those. I'm a hippie born and bred. Chicagoan. Now I'm in Augusta, Georgia. Hey, show me some love out there, guys. Hit those comments. I don't have. There are people, of course, that I know and so forth. I am not famous. I'm not any of those things to get them to come on. And I don't know if I would even try because the people that I like are my age and we're all hippies. And most of us also have podcasts from our bar. Bill Maher, hey, babe. I love you. Love News Radio for Joe Rogan. Hey, babe. Sorry about what happened with that. I was terrified about all of that mess. That was horrible. Kids home. I'm glad you've been doing well. Followed you. Cat Williams. Love you, babe. Love you. He doesn't have his own podcast yet, but he don't need one. Just shut up. So I'm kind of like Bill Maher, um, more so than Joe Rogan. I really just get up here and opine about whatever the hell I saw that day or what I wanted to talk about, which may have been last week. I don't care. As far as the hippie thing goes, this is it. I'm not wearing tie dye, although I've seen it's come back. The bell bottoms haven't, but some people swear they have. They're boot cuts. They're not bell bottoms. There's a difference. Been there, did that. Uh, we were the first women to train in the Army. I was the first company. So I kicked that door down. Have seen some absolutely righteous bitches fly in they're fighter pilots. And that is so freaking cool to see. And within the span of my lifetime, we've gone from women training as women, to be secretaries, nurses, so forth, to seeing our babies up there flying and kicking ass. So that's just awesome. And so much has happened. I straddled 2 centuries, which I hear myself saying that. I'm like, really? You're going to admit that shit? This is why friends and family really probably won't come on the show. Most of it is, how can you sit there and do that? I'm like, how come you're not doing it? It's free. I'm not averse to making money, but it's free. And I don't make any money doing this. I just think that it's here. It's a medium we should use, especially with hippies. What happened to us? Well, a lot like my son and my grandson seem to blame the hippie generation for working 2 jobs, paying off college because shock of all shockers, the president did not fucking pay for my tuition 3 times because they changed that shit every other day. I went from doing a manual typewriter. I get in, I'm over gratified to find out. I'm in the military by that point. I was 17 when I got active duty. Parents had to sign all that couple of stuff. Had already gone through junior college and all that. Yeah. So I had chevrons. Everybody, and by the way, when you're in boot camp, you're a trainee, unless you have a chevron, a stripe, you don't want them. Don't go out and try to do that like I did. We just missed Nam. I mean, this was done in the 70s. Yeah, and in the Army, by the way, shit rolls uphill. So the more rank you've got, the more shit you're going to take because some dumb fuck down there fell out or whatever. But we women made it, which is obvious. Like I said, we have women fighter pilots. So it's good to be on the ground floor at a couple of things. My husband is a Georgian, born down below Macon. I met him when the adopted family was looked up. That would be me by the biological family. And I have another piece of advice for those of you who are listening. All of you who are adopted, I'm not trying to scare you, but if you look for your biological family, or if you found that your biological family is looking for you, run. Don't take nothing with you. Get a new phone. You make it one of them burner phones. Don't use it unless you have to. Do not use anything on social media. Personally, I would say keep cash. Go to another state, move there, change your name, change your hair color. That shit does not always turn out like they make it on TV. And the big surprise there for me, anyway, is like it's on TV and you're really buying this shit. You just can't make this shit up. My husband wanted a bar after we retired. I didn't see any reason he shouldn't have a bar. We're retired. We did. He renovated the whole house because he wanted the bar and I wanted the house renovated. So I got the color walls and wood floors I wanted, and he got this big bar, which meant I got new furniture because we had to open up everything on the first floor. And like I said, I have friends that'll come by that sit at the bar all damn day and drink my hooch. I don't bring none, but they'll get up here and drink the shit out of mine. But they won't go online. And again, that could be because I just kind of go from topic to topic, whatever the hell suits my fancy. If you want to stop me, just a rant here, throw something in live chat, a comment, any of those things. I'll look for you. I'll find you. If you want to come on the show, please add it to live chat, add it to comment. You know, I email me, whatever you got to do. I mentioned the horrific accident I had only for one reason, which was to say I had a channel for a year with steady broadcasts. But I went out several times, even though I shouldn't have. I was badly injured. To say I'm going to have to stop doing this. I'm on 15 medications, so I can talk right now. But I'm going to take a vacation. I'm going to step back for about a year, which is what they told me it would take to actually get on my feet. So which meant bed rest for me. It was terrible. I hated it. Um, you gotta hate it because man, I'm sorry for y'all. A lot of y'all are pretty good. I gotta give you credit for us cleaning and so forth. Mine's not like that. I hardly got out of the master bath. I have an ensuite there, so that was like 6 steps. That's another thing, ladies. If you haven't been on a pair of crutches since you were like 22 and you're 60, keep them around to practice on because find out suddenly you are not. I mean, it surprised the absolute piss out of me. I got up and I got this, I got this. I was like, 1, 2, catch me, catch me. I was not as strong as I thought, and I was heavier than I used to be. I love it. I love being heavier. I was always like the 99-pound weakling, which I also enjoyed because I had taken karate since I was like 7. So, underestimate this weakling. Come on, bring it. I'm bored. Like I said, there's no topic that's off the table. Hippies, you fucking night. It is time to stand up and go, okay, weekend at Bernie's for 4 years. So who the fuck was signing all that shit? Well, somebody's looking into that. Love Donnie. Hey, Mr. President. Love you, babe. You are awesome. Totally. I love the fact that you got no filters, and I think you're funny as hell. I really do. Just from one human being to another. I think you are spot on. You hit that place on roller skates, man. You went in there and on the first day did more than Weekend at Bernie's did all term. I thought it was cute because every time they turned the camera to Biden, he was sleeping. And I thought, well, that's good because he ain't fucking with shit if he's sleeping. But it didn't occur to me that even though we had, as President Trump calls him Sleepy Joe, love the mugshot too. I mean, that's some balls. Put that in the Oval Office. And I love what he's done. We've long needed a ballroom. I've been to the White House. I work just down from the White House. I know It used to me. It looked kind of almost like the '70s show with the basement. That shit was it's just tattered and nappy and badly furnished. And I mean, after Jackie Onassis left, well, she was Jackie Kennedy then. When she left, that there was a whole big difference in the White House. I got there much later after she had done this, and I can tell you that's a fact. And I hadn't seen it improved any on the shots they were showing, which were very few, and in the past 30 years. And I stopped with the what they call legacy news. It's not news. It's some made up political shit that they got people believing. I swear to God, you can't make this shit up. My own son and my grandson actually raised their voices at me, not for long, but they did over against whether they should watch CNN and believe this shit. And they do watch it. It's just constant, like CNN. I was like, if you lost your fuck, I don't even know you people anymore. And this is not how I raised you. They were raised by a hippie. I pretty much raised my grandson as well. And I'm still freaked out about it. I haven't seen my grandson since last year. I've seen my son like twice since last year, being like Thanksgiving or Christmas. I'm not everybody loves Raymond. I ain't that kind of mama. I raised them boys that I mean they could go on. They done did their thing. Go head on. I did my job. Go fly, fly. Send a card. So it's not that I'm, one of those clingy bitches, but I do expect a call or something every once in a while because, like, is she still alive? Do we need a welfare check? And I get a lot of people that say you cannot be whatever age that is. It's a state secret. I'm sorry, guys. That's just the way it is. So you can't be that age. I'm like, I know, right? It's a good thing I didn't get born rich because I'd have done like Joan Rivers and I'd have tightened this and I'd have tucked that. Well, those aren't doing bad. So thank you. So I don't get up here and generally I'm not serious. I also, every time I broadcast, I mention Charlie Kirk. He was massacred. He was assassinated in front of the world. And I don't hear enough about that. I don't hear anything hardly at all. Tucker Carlson, I worry about you, love you, babe. Get some help. I've been watching you a long time. Get some help. Talk to your wife more. Something went wrong. I mean, it's like a picnic shy. I mean, it's a sandwich shy of a picnic going on there. Candace, always love you, babe. Really do. Again, watch your back. I love how you will not let Charlie Kirk go, but you can't go in some of the directions you're going. Like Wusa, girlfriend. I love you, but come down a notch or two. Maybe you should also see someone. I agree. I don't like to see folk about that kind of shit. So I just turn the music up and try to learn the new war dance. I'm on my feet now, so I love that. Yeah. I love the one with the cats doing it. Yeah. I love watching the new shorts with Donnie, President Trump. I can't say it with Kamala Harris. I call her the giggle girl. Pocahontas is fun too. I love that. Sleepy Joe. But he'll be up there like with Ayatollah Khomeini. And I just love this shit. I don't know who's doing them. But it's better than The Simpsons ever was. But and I love AI showing, they'll pull Mark Rubio in and President Trump in and whoever. And they'll be out there just dancing their ass off. I have to stop watching every time. I'm getting to where I like AI. There's some music that's been, I won't say who or what, but that's come out. And I have a list for my son of, I tend to have him do a wake. And, everybody get drunk like an Irish. I want you to remember who I was, not that I'm dead. Yeah, well, you can be suitably, sad occasionally in there. But I want you to be having a good time laughing. Hey, remember when she did this joke or what have you? I want my life remembered. And so he has a list of these, songs that I want played, which are appropriately sad. And they run from 70s, 80s rock to 21st century cowboy, country music. I should say cowboy. Don't hate me. So yeah, I have all that. So he's gonna have fun with that. I doubt anybody shows up, so he should be able to do it at his house. My grandson said, "Grandma, you don't like people much, do you?" I said, "Shut the fuck up, punk. Give me another shot." He's 26. Are you gonna come to my bar and give me shit? Used to come more often, but his friend moved in with him. That's what they're called. I'm a hippie. I got nothing, no problem really with anybody. I'm not into politics, and yet at the same time, dude, I do love you, Donnie. I do. I think he's one hell of a president. Gulf of America. I laughed until I cried when he's down. The mugshot of office. I still laugh when I only Donnie. No filters. Um, I don't vote because the Electoral College is the one that votes in the president. Look it up. It's on Google. You don't have to do like me and run through 4 books. Yeah. People say you read fast. I'm thinking, yeah, for a paragraph in each one, I can almost do my homework. Jesus, go to run to 13 different libraries and 120 books. It's on Google now. Or I've just become more lazy, which is a probability. And so, like I said, do them that away. Just, hey, everybody, hang on. We'll do it this way. And this has been my thing. I wanted to do this because, and I can hear that a little bit through my headphones. I do not want them yelling at me about copyright. I'm not sure why, because music is music. It's in the air. If you turn it on, there's 150 people there, what have you. You can hear it at my house. But, if you're actually online, which I am, of course, um, you can't do that. So I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. I thought, well, isn't that why they made the well, they don't make records anymore. I don't know what the fuck they make anymore. It's not CDs. It's not right. I think there's still some CDs. I haven't picked any up. But the point being, that I never would have thought that was an infringement. I don't know why it would be still. Uh, they should still be glad it's being played, or anybody that's out there glad it's being played. But that's okay. Yeah, and I'll get the it'll run through wherever it's gotten me twice. If you can go in there and isolate those, otherwise I don't edit these. I've got one in there where I didn't have any sound for an hour. I still haven't taken it down because I just want to see if anybody's lip reading. It says, "Hey." I've got two. One, it's like it's so bright you can see me occasionally, which I thought was also fucking funny. And then I got another one where I adjusted the light, and it looks like I'm broadcasting from the cloak closet. Can't hardly see me. I'm in there occasionally, kind of swimming through. So I do all of that stuff. And I had started in because I had started on Blessed Charlie Kirk. Hope his memory is a blessing. I do love that saying from the Israelis. And I heard that, Donnie was disappointed in NATO. I was like, really? Where have you been since the 80s? And of course, when he was talking about it, he was like, I was saying this in the 80s. I was like, he was. They've showed several clips of stuff that he was saying in the 80s. Even then, they were asking if he was going to run, certainly by the 90s. They stole the election 2020. I knew they did. There was no doubt they did, especially in Georgia, which is where he actually lost. That was the last one he had to get. Because there were ballots they threw off bridges alongside the roads, just emptied out ballot after ballot. There were thousands of ballots out there picked up as trash. So I knew. And then when I heard they released this phone call that made it sound like he was asking, I can't even give a title, but Kim, to check because they only needed a couple 100,000. They thought they had done much better for what they trolled or pulled or whatever you call it. And of course, he stitched that bitch together to sound like, hey, you better find these or I'm going to have to let my guys on you or what have you. It was obvious that it wasn't leaked. You guys put it together and then you put it out there so that he sounded like, I'm coming for you if you don't give me the votes. Downey didn't lose. God bless him. They fucked with him for 6 years prior, 2 years and through his entire first term. Then they stole the election and gave it to Sleepy Joe, who only came out of the basement once and lost the debate so badly. I still can't believe they put him into a second one. But there's no way people went out and said, we got to have this guy again. 50 years was not enough. I'm like, okay, these fucks have term limits. Okay, but apparently there's no term limits. Of course, everybody should know this. There's no term limits on the Senate or the House. And I'm like, what in God's name? And I've always been a history buff. Not maybe so much America, because we don't have a lot of history. But I could have swore that you had to be born an American citizen or you could not hold office. So we got 3 in the House that are refugees from another country that hold a visa. And they are out there every day trashing every white person they think is on the planet besides America and how bad America is, yet they still don't want to leave. Well, fucking of course not. She was worth $4,000 the year before last. Now she's worth 30 million. Who the fuck would want to leave? Look at, she's still wearing her little, whatever the fuck they call that, hijab. The burqa, with the letterbox. I love that. The British said that. They call them letterboxes. I call them cousinets, black cousinets. Funniest damn thing I've ever seen. And yet there were women out there celebrating that we had taken down not just the first echelon, but the second one. There's no Navy, Army, Air Force. There's no communications. I don't even know if there's food. Don't care. I was waiting for somebody to explain to me that when I come back here, and I served over there in DC as well, I've been all over the world, and I could not understand why America didn't think they were going to hit by the terrorists. Then we had the 96 bombing at the Trade Center, and it wasn't too bad. A lot of people had smoking, inhalations. These guys went back for their deposit on a fucking all they love. You can't make that up. I laughed till I cried on that one too. It's like, okay, there's our guys. But I said, they're not done with you. Think how easy it was for them to do that, using your own shit and still want the deposit. Sure enough, what happened? 9/11 happened. I'm still not real sure about what was actually going on. The firemen did not at any point think these buildings were going to pancake. There's no way to put it. It looked like a controlled explosion to me. And then Building 7 went down the same way. Building 7 hadn't even been hit by debris. Why the fuck did it go down? No plane hit it. No debris hit it. It went down. Look it up. There's a whole bunch of engineers that looked into this. And there's only certain things that can make enough firepower where metal will turn into a liquid. Thermite is one. That's the military one. But jet fuel isn't one. So I have my questions about that horrific day too. Oh, there's no doubt the planes when it hit them. I also don't hear anything about the ones that said, let's roll. And they took that plane down in the cornfield. It didn't hit the DC area. It would have had those brave young men and women not done what they did. We don't talk about them. Maybe their names are done at the roll. But I think it's enough. It's been 25 years. And I can't believe I'm saying that. I know exactly where I was when that happened. I'd come in for lunch. And the oddest thing is like when the shuttle blew up, I was in the break room just getting ready for my lunch. And you were just standing there stunned because that couldn't have happened. They couldn't have happened. It happened. I couldn't figure out also why we were attacking Iraq after 9/11. There were no Iraqis terrorists. They were all Saudi Arabian. And then we hear that through the museums in Iran, teams dressed in black military hardware down to the speaker headphones, they were running through the museums and things were being taken. Only certain things. They didn't go through and just take everything, off the shelves. They got certain things. And I wondered about that. I also wondered why they were in fucking Iraq for a long time. People may not know this besides Obama. Obama Hussein. I love that. Anyway, there's some folks that should be asking that question because George Bush Jr.'s daddy, when he was the head of the CIA, put Saddam Hussein in power. Look that up. And then 25 years later, Junior goes in and hunts him till they find him in a hole in the ground, picking inside of his beard rather. And then they hung him, which again was a deserved thing. But these people were not involved in 9/11, and then they came up with the weapons of mass destruction. That's why we're going. No, it ain't. They find out that shit. Oh, he did. He did do that. Yes, he did do that. But I was watching since they already had satellite up. I was already glued to it. I went to until they took the general having the 6 a.m. briefing off. I was there for every briefing, and I'm like, you got a convoy of trucks going to Syria, straight into Damascus. Well, we're coming in, and I'm like, you don't think they got some shit in there? Look at all them cars. There are like 40,000 cars headed to Damascus. Then he stopped none of. But again, they had wiped out all the currency, the brothers had and all that. From what I understand, I don't even know who got all them, but that was it. So it's like, I don't get this at all. Then we get out. Was that Obama? I don't even remember when we got out of there. I was just grateful we did. It didn't seem like we were at war. We were at war for the entire bit of the 21st century, the first 2 decades. And then they left Bagram Air Force Base with enough to, keep the terrorists happy for another decade till they found another sucker president. Luckily for us, Trump not only won, but managed to keep them from stealing the election results. And I love how I put this too. He won the electoral college vote, and he won the popular vote. And there, right there, should tell you something. If he has to, it didn't matter. He put them second, so it didn't matter what he won as far as popular vote went. What mattered was the electoral college. Look it up, and you'll find that that's who elects them. They represent their people. I ain't ever talked to one of these motherfuckers, so I don't know how the hell they're representing my ass. Just saying. It's a bar. Get over it. I like my whiskey on the rocks, so it looks like I'm drinking a whole lot. And I'm not because I got to go take care of all the animals now. And we run a bit of a thing here. If anybody's interested in giving somebody a hand, let me know. I'll start a little, what do they call those Somali organizations? They made enough money, but I could feed some animals out here. But they have a kill shelter. That's all they have here. And once you feed an animal and water an animal and allow them to stay even on your porch front, back, wherever, and we do, then they're not leaving. And I don't blame them. Whether it's the summer, we can't help them a lot. It's hot. They get to the cool, and the porches, the patios, those are nice and cool in the summer. But in the winter, I have heat in the outhouse, I call it. It's our greenhouse, and I call it my outhouse because this is where all my plants go. Yes, I was raised in one of those. I actually had an uncle. I'm adopted, though. My parents were World War IIers. My dad was at Pearl Harbor. He was on shore leave, and I don't believe he ever forgave himself. I was about to say that must be potential spam because my husband knows that I'm up here right now and I have some time left. If I really want to do it that long, I probably won't today. So yeah, I know about outhouses. I know about house you had to go to the well. It didn't have indoor plumbing. My uncle in particular. So yeah, I may not be that old. You wouldn't think, but people take a little while to change when they've been through a war, and it was hard for them to own a place. My parents were paid because of me and my sister for a month until we turned 18 years old. I was already gone by then because I didn't want to stay anywhere that I couldn't even find a job in. If I could, it'd be you want fries. And trust me, they did not have 5 million McDonald's in those days. You had a grocery store and you might have had a McDonald's. Then Jack in the Box came out. And they were so stupid, Jack in the Box was. They had these bins, and then you go up and pick out a hamburger, cheeseburger, fries, and go on down the line. These are high school students, and they're throwing them, chunking them under the barriers. You know, they're getting it, walk back out, and everything. Paper shit. So they shut it down for like a week, and then it was all way back there. It's smarter. I'm just saying, things changed a lot in a decade, and then another decade, and then another decade. So hippies unite. What the hell? We still listen, and they do too. The next two generations after we hippies are listening to our music. Most of the all the commercials are our music almost. It's like Iron Man. Who did he have? He had AC/DC for God's sake. And damn if they didn't, they hammered that shit. Even the shorts I see with the fighter pilots going off and stuff, that's what they're playing. They're playing our music. So get up, stand up. We're grandparents. We did the right thing. Our parents had nothing left by the time we kids were grown. They were just worn out, and they died at prior to my own age. And people say all the time to me, "Oh, you don't look your age," and I'm like, "Well, if I'm not tipping you, you must believe that." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." My doctor said that to me yesterday. Well, it wasn't my doctor; it was her stand-in, the nurse who wants to be a doctor. I love that part, but I don't care. I only go in to make sure they updo all of my wonderful prescriptions and tell me I'm fine. However, it didn't go that well yesterday. Some problems, and I'm going to have to go back and all that lovely stuff. But I'm so grateful because my VA is only 5 minutes away from me, and I've always been by a base. No matter what, I've always lived like almost at the gate of the base, no matter what city, countries, it doesn't matter. I somehow always find myself next door to the base. And I'm thinking that's always because I mean, I worked hotels, I ran hotels, I did things like that. I ran divisions at like University of Texas Health Science Center over in San Antonio, and I ran the whole wing for when especially the Hispanic women were pregnant, they became pregnant, and I mean they became pregnant, but they also became diabetic, and so you had to teach them how to use glucometers and all that stuff, and you're collecting those stats. And the guy that was the head of it, head of OB-GYN, he was from Israel. He used to love coming back and telling us how many people he killed. But it's weird. So that was something else. When I was working in D.C., I worked at the agriculture building. Uh, Lots of clearances, but I can say this. I was working with my actual ex-mother-in-law now, and bless her, she's crossed over too. And we used to compete. Who could type the fast. She beat me by one word a minute. Pissed me off after that. She would never let me do a test with her again. I like the lady. I love her. I loved her a lot. Very, very much a businesswoman. Helped me a lot. Anyway, she put together the food stamp program. I basically was her assistant. So I have to really, the credit belonged to her. But that's when y'all had funny money. We called it monopoly money back in our day when we put it together. Didn't know any other way to do it. You didn't have cards. You didn't have any cards back when we were doing this. They hadn't even come out phone cards yet. I don't know if any of y'all remember phone cards, but I remember phone cards coming out. We thought this is great. No, there's just going to have to be more money on this. We had Watts calls from Europe, and they would give each of you 3 minutes. They just called them Watts. I don't know why. And it had a big tent set up, a lot of radio equipment and stuff, and you could call whoever for 3 minutes for free, and then let the next person go. So that's how I talked to my parents and stuff when I was in Europe. I get that 3 minutes every few months, and I call them and say, "Nope, the kid's doing good. Had the kid over here." My son was born in Heidelberg, so you can see where I'm coming from. But they didn't stay very long around. That generation, I think they just burn out quick. And a lot of people, and like I said, a lot of people say that to us, my husband included, that we don't look our age or act our age, which we absolutely do not. But I've got nephews and nieces that have already crossed over as well, that are 20 years younger than us. We don't know. We don't understand what's happened. We've got like two nephews that come to mind. If they have hair, it's completely white. And they're 15, 20 years younger, again, than us. Same with our nieces. I'm the only remaining family member of my immediate family. including the actual biological family. I'm the last one. Me and my descendants. I have one child, a son. He's got two. My grandson, who's an Army veteran, and his daughter, my granddaughter, who's 13. So, she's 5 years away from being an adult. I didn't think I'd see my kid to hit 20. I don't know about you guys, but we hippies had no intention of living long. God's still laughing. He said, "Yeah, let's have fun with you." Most of us didn't want kids, especially the women, because we weren't going to be stuck at home like our parents were, our mothers. Because when the World War II guys, the ones that lived and they came home, all the women lost their jobs, had to go home. They wouldn't hire women. That finally the secretarial bulls and stuff, they started hiring women, but women could hardly get a job. So it was they had the taste of freedom. They had come through the Depression, World War II, they had World War One, and they had that taste of freedom for those few years that the men were, fighting, and they were making, the missiles and the airplanes. They did the Riveter, and my mom loved it. It was in California of all places. But again, when the men came back home, that was it. I can't understand that because my mom was like a soda jerk. They called them. I don't know what they call them today, but back in the day, it was soda jerk. And it's just she just I saw her wilt. You know what I'm saying? It was I was very aware of that with both of them. And then I lost both brother and sister due to drinking. They drank. They didn't drink water. I don't know if they ate food, but all I ever saw was a bear. So they died of cirrhosis. Very young. Very young. My husband buys me these whiskey fireballs. I like my whiskey on the rocks. If you're going to give me a drink, it better be a hurricane. Otherwise, I'll have a scotch on the rocks. Whatever you got, top shelf, throw it on the rocks, give it to me. I'm not going to play around with it. I don't want to have something that's going to make me happy. Like now. I'm not sipping some pony little drink because I'm a girl. The army kind of kicked that out. Still miss him. And the fact that my grandsister's the only reason he went was because of grandma. Because grandma wore army boots, he wanted to make sure he could. Because his father works for the government, but he's civil service. A little different. But he's been with them many, many, many years. And I would have thought he would be able to retire by now, but that's not how it works anymore. And like I said, I'm retired. I'm almost ready to go back to work because I just don't know where my day goes. I was late getting up here. Excuse me. And I'm probably going to finish my last shot of water here and go get some stuff done because I've got plants. My husband brought me some perennials I need to get done. And I need to get all that finished up and out of the way, animals fed and medicine and all that to them. Some of them need medicine. So I've got all this to do, and here it is approaching like 4:30 or 5. I don't even know, somewhere like that. I try to do this thing between 12 and 2 in the afternoon. It just never happens that way. My eyes are bothering me. I had surgery done on both eyes. Um, yeah, and then I had a lot of surgery put together and after the accident. And I carry so much metal. I set up the airport before I even park. So I'd say I'm the $6 million woman, but then no, there was $76 million involved. It's on a bill somewhere. Pay this by tomorrow. So I don't have any friends or family. They don't even subscribe, and that's the reason I was trying to explain. My channel went on hold for a year, and I was having such trouble. I got 2 or 3 off, and I was having such trouble getting them done. Then I just switched and made a new channel. So if you want to see the older versions, there's a whole lot, and I lost a lot of viewers there, and I haven't found them yet. So I'm hoping that those, maybe I should put the keyword is hippie. At a bar. This is the fun part, guys. I do not need Uber. I'm at home. And you're more than welcome to drop by my bar. Bring some good hooch. Sometimes as I was saying, sometimes my eyes will bother me. So they fuss if I don't wear glasses nowadays. And you get tired of wearing all this stuff, I'll tell you what. But again, yeah, on the age thing, yeah, they do tell us. And I'm very interested in meeting some more hippies. I'm in an area now where, like I said, I'm near a base, so you've got a lot of young people. So I'm hoping this reaches the hippies. And you guys will jump in, do a Zoom call, whatever we're going to have. I'll share the screen. Tap me. Come on in. Come on in. The water's fine. It's a bar. Let's find out what we hippies are up to. Because they are blaming us for people like Schumer. Do a Whoopi Goldberg impression. You know, bitch. Where the fuck did she get off, man? We're the ones that fucking paid her. Now she gonna get off and throw shit in my face? Oh, fuck you. I would never recommend a movie of yours or see one again. And actually, I didn't see the last three. You didn't know how because you wasn't no good in the first one. I actually thought it was a good role until she fucked it up. Everybody can say that shit. They can get up there and say shit. So can I. It's hearsay. It used to be called in court, tit for tat. Nah, 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 nah. But you get up there and you have a viewing audience, and you have that viewing audience because of our support. You didn't make that fucking movie 2 days ago. You made that fucking movie in the 80s, and it was my hippie generation that went. That's how you got your money. Now, yeah, she brags about the view's been on for 29 years. Yeah, I won't watch it. They've got it on at the hospitals everywhere. It's just like Oprah. I mean, how many? One more person would have said, "Did you watch Oprah?" To me, I'd have thrown up on their shoes. I didn't watch Oprah, but a clip or two here and there. I went, nah, she's racist. I think it's racist when they have affirmative action. You shouldn't be hired because you're black or you're yellow or you're purple. You should be hired because you can type 140 words a minute. That's who I hired. I didn't give a fuck what you did after you got off. You had to answer a phone, you had to type that much. We're good to go. And if you don't do that, you're out. I don't give a fuck if you're pink with purple polka dots. So that's all racist. It's been racist for decades. Then I get back and they're telling me I got to speak Spanish because I'm in Texas and I need to work in Texas. Fuck you. As far as I know, the guys with the Alamo thing, that was all settled. We won. Okay, yeah. They lost. But we won eventually with Sam Houston. Love being at Fort Sam Houston. I did. I love that place. My step grandson went and joined the army and didn't tell us and swore his mother to secrecy, my stepdaughter. And finally, he called us to tell us he was on the way to Korea. He was leaving Fort Sam Houston because uh, he was finished with his medical training and he had heard all of those stories from grandma and he just had to go to Fort Sam Houston. So he's now an Army medic. He's stationed in Korea. My other grandson, my son's son, had just come back from Korea. I don't know what it is with Korea. Even I had to get out of the military at that point because they wanted me to go to Korea and I had a child. And they wanted me to sign custody over of my child. I would not do that as an adopted child myself. I just couldn't do it. And somewhere in my head, I was like, and she was very high positioned. And I ended up loving her to death and working with her and everything when I came back from Europe several years later. But she would have stolen the kid. I found out when my kid was like 35. Uh, he found his aunt and found out that he would have. She wanted to keep him. She tried everything to get me to stay in the army, and I did not want to give up my career. I was so torn there, but I ended up saying no. Um, that's my kid. This is the path I have to choose. I can't say, well, I got to go do this. So can you hang on to her for a sec? I just couldn't do it. And I'm really glad now that I did because I'd never been able to win custody back. They had too much money and a lot of powerful friends. And so I was smarter than I thought. I always, and I will always miss the military. One of those people is pretty regulated. I went shit where it's supposed to be. I also have a sense of humor and remember what my rights are. I don't know about y'all, but the Mandela effect to me is kind of real. I don't know how else I can explain. But one day I turned and I went, Mandela's doing what? Because I watched Mandela's funeral as a sign of respect, like I did Princess Diana's. Now, I wept a lot for Princess Diana. She had said only weeks before they'd kill her in a car accident. It took 2.5 hours to take her 2 minutes away to I think it was 2 miles, to the hospital. They waited over 2 hours, so they were extracting her. My happy fucking ass. They killed her. I don't care what anybody says that John Jr. was killed as well. But they didn't even hold a funeral for John. They went, and I don't like Caroline at all. Put that boy's ashes right back over where they found him, and it took them a week to figure that shit out. The boy had been flying the same path for a couple decades at least. They knew right where he was going. How come they didn't search that? They didn't start searching where they found him until debris started showing up. So yeah, maybe you can call me a conspiracy theorist if you want to, but I happen to remember Jiffy peanut butter, not Jif. It was Jiffy, and it was against Skippy, and Skippy was $1 higher, so we got Jiffy. But now they're saying that it was never Jiffy. Okay, I remembered Ben Dallas' funeral. I watched it on TV because I wanted to be respectful, and I thought he deserved that. Then they said, I'm looking at TV because they're saying, oh, Mandela's this, that, and the other. I'm like, no, he died in jail. And I'm like, holy fuck. He's divorced. He's got a wife, writing a book. He's president of the UN. I'm like, when the fuck did that happen? So the Mandela effect I got scared of even looking into it anymore. I was like, no, I'm good. I don't know what the hell happened, but yeah, a lot of it. Even our songs, some of the songs, like one of them from Queen. Um, I don't know, but that's an interesting topic to me. As far as paranormal, love that shit. I've been checking that shit out since the 60s. I mean, with the big old reel to reel recorded 8mm tape, Yeah, y'all just don't know. Those of you what they call sat phones, or just their cell phones, or just fucking phones. Mine's a phone. To me, it's just like a portable phone. It gets that dit thing all the time, but I never look at it except when it rings and I am actually out. I know it's my husband because he's the only one who calls me. My son might call occasionally. They invite me over for dinner or something, but it's very rare. He does the cooking, and I understand that. When I was working, I got home, I didn't even want to cook, so I had to cook. So by the time you're finished, it's 9 o'clock. You got to go to bed to get up at 4 to do it again. And I had to go to colleges and everything, do all of that shit 3 or 4 times because they kept changing it. Like I said, you went from a manual typewriter to electric typewriter. Come back from Europe, they had a correctable electric typewriter. And then, so I go to DC and they how fast they would change it. They had word processor. We're like, what the fuck? What's a floppy fucking disk? And then they went to, you had to have the tower, the big white ones, the apples, which took up half a corner of a room. And my husband, I wouldn't get it, because I've always done that. I mean, that's the sections I did. And that's why I hated technology, because I always had to stay on top of it. And he just had to have, first printer was a dot matrix. I had that. I had AOL. Yeah, you got me. Half of that shit I didn't look at. Then my son, I moved down here where he's at, which is Augusta, about 13 years ago because of the baby. And Mom, you got to be on Facebook. You got to be on Facebook. And he used my Army nickname. Oh God, that's another book I should write. My Army nickname was Wicked, and that seems to have followed me throughout my entire life. I'm not that young, as you can see, but yeah, it's still Wicked. So that's part of my email now. So never let your son set up your email or your Facebook. Luckily, I set up my own YouTube. I managed that on my own. And YouTube's got a great way to teach you all that. I mean, you just have to hit the right things and get the right buttons, and you're good to go. I love that. I still would like to know what happened to my first channel. They did pause it, but I should have been able to, because I had broadcast 2 or 3 times. Several people told me, including Google, that I need to change my caches to somehow a cache. So it's probably got the memory to free up. And I have 4 sets up here. My husband has bought 3. My son gave me one for Christmas when I first started. They both did. And my husband got me the golden mic because I thought they were so cool. So he got me the one with the golden mic. And it's just fun, guys. You need to get up here because I'm about to go make like a tree and leaf. Think about it. So come see me if you just caught this and I was already off the air. You know, throw something in the comments. I might see you, I might not. If you really want to see me and you're not seeing me until it's already been in the can, again, it's live. I hardly ever go back and edit anything. That's it. I just get up here, I do my thing. If you like it, like. If you don't, fine with me. It's like, well, you could just turn the channel, but you can do it this way too. And my phone's going ding ding ding. People are probably canceling as I speak. So, for my last one for the day, cheers, guys. Come see this. Hippies unite. I love that cinnamon at the end. I hear you, Penny. I'm coming to feed you. My cat's in there just. They have fits. It's like having little humans around. And on top of that, a kitten was found in my husband's boat when he wanted to go out fishing. So there were two. I lost the first one. They were just born. First one just didn't thrive. She didn't eat. She cried and she cried and she cried. I was always holding her, and she was crying anyway. So I didn't sleep, and she passed away the first week, and it's broke my heart. I hate losing the kittens, and we've bottle fed and raised probably over a dozen of them. So it's hard, and they bond with you, so you end up not putting them outside. And then I lost 5 cats in 1 year last year, just as I came and got out and was able to start physical therapy. My animals started dying, and and they were going away at a time when there was nothing open, and you're trying to get them on the emergency number. They don't return your call, they don't answer, and then it's too late. Your baby's already over there. So I'm gonna have to go see a lot of my guys over there. Got a lot of fur babies. We used to buy chows. Always had chows. Usually at any time 2 or 3. Our last one was a husky chow mix, and it broke our hearts when he had to go over. But he was suffering so bad he couldn't walk, and my poor husband had to carry him in. And our husky would scream. My husband drove a truck for a long time, long haul, and he was an instructor as well at long haul. So when he got in, it would be 2 or 3 days sometimes, instead of just a day. And he would yell, I love you," and our dog would. So unfortunately, and he had to go and take him and hold him while he was crossing over. And that's a hard thing. It's a really hard thing to go through, as everybody probably knows. So I don't want to end on a quirky note like that one. Take care of your animals. The furry friends are angels. Let's treat them right. And like I said, hippies unite. Get together. Tell me what you want to talk about. Tell me what you don't want to talk about. I don't care. Make one up. I'm game. Oh, it's still going. I quit smoking. And my husband started. I saw a friend of mine here at the bar. He was smoking one of these. And I said, oh, I got to try that. I missed those in Europe because I would sell my American cigarettes to my to my landlord. They loved Marlboros, and you could only buy so many. They limited you, so those would go for rent. So I would smoke theirs, which for me was a French brand of cigarette, which is like a cheroot, like a little cigar. And I did because same reason they go out. So instead of smoking 4 packs, you're smoking 2 cigars because they go out. And this is the only way I'm allowed to have them. I won't buy myself. My husband gets it for me. And I'm only allowed to have them when I'm here at the bar and I'm talking to y'all. But my time is nearly up. I want to make sure I had a good cherry on that for a minute. Probably isn't that great for you guys to see me, but I'm surprised if you can see me at all at this point. What was the other one I was thinking about today? I can't remember. I get up here and maybe I should write it down. I just can't figure out. I don't, like I said, I don't do topics. I don't do any of that because there's so many different things at the same time going on. I heard we took the straits and closed them, Straits of Hormuz. I don't know. I think they were probably trying to send the minesweepers through, and get the mines out of there. I heard that one tanker from China got out. People, Americans, I'm addressing you, hippies in particular, because most of us still have either grandkids or kids still living with us. It's amazing, isn't it? Of course, the price of gas went up for a minute. It's not necessary, but it went up. We have enough gas and oil in the United States, and we have a reserve because Trump put it back. So we can use it doesn't matter. We don't have to get it from them. Now Cuba's a mess because Venezuela's a mess because that's where they get their oil from. I understand maybe Russia might get some from there too. Turns out Ukraine is making a deal, I think, and also at least unassing the gas part. I don't know. But Americans, sit up, wake up. I want to know, Donnie, Mr. President Trump, love you. Please take care of yourself and tell us when they're going to start using our stuff at our stores for gas so that we know there's no reason for them to charge, in particular, like California, $9 a gallon. We would like to know when our own oil and stuff comes here and it's sent to these places. Could you give us a heads up on like X? Say, yep, they shouldn't be charging you that shit no more. We would so appreciate that, Johnny. We really would. It's terrible what's going on with this. They're withholding out the funds for ICE and all that, and people aren't getting paid to deal with stuff at the airports, to deal with security. I love the fact that we sent the guard in. People went stupid. No, we didn't send the guard. I think we did send ICE. Yeah. And just before that, they had another crash and burn because my kids didn't get paid. And I say my kids, but my son and his wife both are high level civil servants, and they didn't get paid. And they went to work. You know, they went to work. I would have too. And we only rented that one time. I think he was 78 when Jimmy Carter was president. So it was only, and the military got paid. And so those things have been going on. So I hope that all clears up. But we hippies need to talk about this and make sure that these kids of ours and their grandkids and some of you and it might be great grandparents. Most of us started young. I wasn't that young. I was young enough. I had one child. One. Didn't expect that, but dealt with it. You take life as it comes, you know. But come and see me. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what you want to talk about. I'm here. Hit live chat. Again, hit the subscribe because you may not know when I'm on. You might want to be in. I will try to go through comments, but I generally end up with not enough time to do that, or I start them and then I got to stop. I did redo the checkbook, and we spent $1,400 in 3 days. And I'm not like the kids. I don't use the phone, take a picture, and send it in virtual. No, some of that stuff is still a little bit hands on for me. So between that, the animals, the house, and the husband, I don't have a lot of time. Maybe I should divorce and get no kids. Anyway, I gotta go. All of you have been great today. Come and see me. I say I'm a lot, don't I? Ay. 3 times a week is what I cut it down to because that's all I can keep up with. I have tons of doctor's appointments coming at me right now. So I'm trying to cut this down to 3 days a week, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But knowing me, it could be Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm not sure. And if I only get 1 or 2 in, I see some others are popping up here. I'll try to get one on Saturday or Sunday if I can't get 3 in on a week. So hit the little thingy, ring the bell. It's free. You can take it off just as easy. And I say that as a user, not as a programmer. My whole line used to be, did you unplug it and plug it back in? They paid me good money for that. Anyway, so today's Tuesday. I missed Monday. So I'll try to pop back in here tomorrow and Friday. But I would go ahead and hit the bell if you want to be a part of this. And I think we should all be a part of this. So hippies unite. Go tell everybody else. God bless everybody. Stay safe. Keep a smile.